this game. If you go into it with only muscle memory, you think, well, this is an easy Wigan win. Wigan do what Wigan do best, which is turn up and win games. However, you're always troubled, and there's always a slight chance when the opposition has players who have experience from the team that they're playing against. We've talked about it a number of times. 5 ex-Wiganers in this Salford lineup, 3 of them in the front goal with a total of 261 appearances. They will be determined, they will be fired up, they will be ready to take on this challenge. And Salford Red Devils, who look fit, who look ready, who look prepared, who look fearless, have it all to do. What a game we're in for.
Well, Salford and Wigan have met 4 times already this season, and Wigan have won all 4 of those. And Salford do have, I don't want to pour cold water on Salford's hopes, but they have got a pretty ropey record on this ground. They've won just 1 of 22 visits to the DW Stadium. And over the years here and at Central Park, they haven't done particularly well, Phil.
Well, all of the stats indicate, don't they, when you look back at history, past events, that we're going to go and win this game. But this isn't about the past, it's about the present. And all of those Salford supporters have travelled here today in the hope that they can help their side here to do what will be almost a once-in-a-lifetime achievement, get into the grand final. It will be remarkable. They've got nothing to lose and everything to play for.
Ben Failer is the referee tonight. Robert Hicks is his video ref. And as we said, both sides unchanged from their last outing, just the bit of tinkering from Adrian Lamb with Ben Flower starting. But Salford coach Ian Watson going with the same starting 13, the same 17 players, hoping that they can continue this remarkable story this season. The side that finished 11th last season in the regular campaign, finishing 3rd this year, and now 80 minutes away from Old Trafford, and they have phenomenal support here at the DW Stadium to the Red Devils. There must be 3,000, if not more, of their supporters here tonight.
Looks great, doesn't it? You know what, you're a Salford player, you're saying, right, come on then, Wigan, bring it on, let's see what you've got up front. Last week, they struggled for metres, Wigan. Already you can see there's a bit more determination in the runs, the way they're carrying the ball. The combined starting pack last week only made 184 metres. Luke Thompson on his own made 180 metres. So that's a point that they need to improve on.
Powell gets the first kick away, and it's straight into the arms of Krishnan Inu.
Well, that's something else they need to improve on. They're kicking it, looked like they were kicking a medicine ball, not a rugby ball last week when they played against St Helens. Again, that kick didn't gain great ground either.
Well, that's a good reception for Jake Bibby. He'll be playing his rugby league for the Wigan Warriors next season. The Salford centre, and there are a number of players who are on the move, but they have great camaraderie in the Salford camp, and while they've got plans for next season, Josh Jones going off to Hull, and Mossop has lost that ball in that tackle, but it was stolen, says referee Ben Thaler. First penalty of the game. And I wonder if Salford, with Inu's boot being what it is, will decide to go for 2 points. Is the kicking tee on the way?
Yeah, kicking tee is on. Jackson Hastings just calmly said to all his players, just let's calm down here. We'll take the 2 points, we'll take what's in front of us. And what's he got, 45 metres, more or less centre of the field, Chris Ninu, to knock over the first points. And in games like this, when you're playing to get into finals, you take the points, you get through the next set of 6 from the kick-off. You kick it long, you chase hard, and you defend.
He kicked 5 from 5 against the Castleford Tigers last week, so fair chance that Inu will get the scoreboard ticking here tonight.
It was light and dark, wasn't it? That first set of 6 for Wigan. They made metres, they got through contact, they played the ball quick. But when Salford had the ball, they had the first set of possession, you can see that Wigan are worried. Taking a little corner cut, snatching at the ball, and it's an apprehensive Wigan side. I'm confident that looking at the body language, they're worried about this Salford side.
Inu making his 26th consecutive appearance since signing for Salford from the Widnes Vikings. Much travelled. And kicking towards the Wigan supporters at that far end of the ground, and on target.
that is important. If Salford are to win here, they need to get ahead and stay ahead. Very hard for the underdog in a playoff game here. Terry talked before, 23 years ago, Salford was a big upset by beating Wigan. They led from that game. They were never behind. And I think Salford's best chance of here to win here tonight is to be ahead from now till the final hooter.
All the noise at the DW Stadium tonight is coming from our left. The terracing, or the stand rather.
It was like that a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, when they met it? Brilliant atmosphere.
More here than there were for that 18-12 defeat. So the restarts out on the full.
Wigan are a team that they won't say it, but they're under pressure. There's been questions asked of them this week as players.
Do you think Ino would fancy it from the halfway line?
Well, he had 5 metres grace with the other one, didn't he? It was from 45 metres. Does he go 50 metres? Jackson Hastings just looking around now. I know you can all... Look says it all from the coach, Adrian Lamb.
No, he's going to put it into touch. There is a bit of a breeze, just I think at Salford's backs, and the penalty puts Salford well inside Wigan territory. So they are having the start that they were hoping for on the back of 2 Wigan penalties. The first for the ball steal on Mossop, there he is, and then that kick from Hardacre out on the full. Now then, here is Dudson, who's been in great form in these playoffs, the Welsh international. Sam Powell with the tackle. Hastings, here is Josh Jones, rumbling figure. Dream team selection, Josh Jones. Logan Tompkins pass for Jackson Hastings, who puts his foot to the ground and almost found a way through. It needed Hardacre's tackle to deny him. Almost caught the Wigan defence napping. Lola Hayer's little kick, and Chris Wellen was chasing it. Hardacre to the rescue again.
My word, he worked hard then, Zach Hardacre. He made that tackle on the half-back Jackson Hastings, got up, got on his bike and saved his side's blushes. Look at that acceleration he has to put in to get there and beat Wellham to the ball. Great work from the fullback.
Well, Hardacre was one of Wigan's better players in the Salford drubbing, wasn't he? Got him out of the fire 1 or 2 times. It could have been a lot worse. They might have hit 50 points. That's Knights Saints. Here is Ben Flowers starting tonight's game. Another of the Welsh internationals out there. That's a poor pass, and it's Willie Isa who's having to put the kick in, and he's put it out on the full. Oh, dearie me.
They are putting themselves under pressure. They're working hard on the inside. They know that Salford dropped the ball off, so they're working hard around the middle. But you've got to make sure that you get those players right. Willie Isa is not a man who you want on the last play to kick the ball. Kicks it straight out of the field. Yeah, it was from a sloppy pass. But Salford, well, they're in the groove. Wigan, well, they need to get into it.
Well, cast your minds back. In this fixture 2 weeks ago, Sam Powell picked a wrist injury. Oh, Wigan have done a good job at keeping that wrist injury quiet.
Another penalty.
There's a penalty from Sean O'Loughlin. Buy a bit more time.
2 more points coming, surely.
Yeah, you go for this. Again, it's just running hard, isn't it? You run hard, you get rewarded. You taught that as a youngster. You see props in the modern day just constantly passing the ball out the back. I think that's your job as a prop forward. You set the foundations, you give your halfbacks and your hookers something to play off.
Let me just go back to the point I made about Sam Powell. He's delivering those passes. He has to be accurate. He has to have the right distance on the pass, the right weight on the pass. And if he's playing the game with that injury, we don't know how he's managing the pain. There's going to be some consequence somewhere. He's a tough player. He'll put his hand up. He'll do the job that he's asked to do, but he's less than 100%.
Ben, please. Sean, green light with Ben Flower, please. Thank you.
So another penalty opportunity for Krishnan Inu, who's kicked 85 goals this season. And averages 9 points a game since joining the Salford Red Devils.
Just stay on it, Clint. That's right.
He's actually lost in 3 NRL Grand Finals during his career. How about that, to get to a first one in Super League and win it. Long way to go yet, but Inu has tagged on another 2 points into the quiet end of the ground.
Coaches will talk about simplifying the game, and I think that Lee Mossop and Gil Dudson just do what that man says. That man was let me tell you, he was a clever halfback, Ian Watson. He knew exactly how to play. Wasn't gifted with an awful lot of speed, I'm sure. He won't have a go at me for saying that, but what he did have was a good rugby knowledge and knowing how to get his side around.
Back on focus.
Hardiker gets this one inside the whitewash, and Wigan have to buck their ideas up. It's been a poor start from them. Adrian Lamb was saying before the game that it had to be a better start, better attitude. Well, they've conceded 3 penalties already and 4 points in the process.
And this is where you don't want to be if you're a Salford player. You've got Ollie Partington, you've got Ben Flower flying out the line looking to get you. Look, there's not much gap to use your footwork, because if you step one side or another, there's a cherry and a white shirt there.
It's better from Wigan's defence. Gil Dudson, nowhere for him to go. Here's Josh Jones now.
5.
And that's the 5th tackle. That is a better set defensively from the Wigan Warriors.
Yeah, massive set of 6, really strong in defence. Hurt some of those Salford players well, but good distance on this from Lola here, but Burgess catches it on the full.
Almost got over the head of Joe Burgess.
And a good solid line to meet them as well. 22 metres made by the Wigan side, and we're talking about Ian Watson and the influence he has on his side. When we talked to him before the show last week, he was very quick to talk about Greg Brown, his conditioner, the bloke who stands at the side of him during the game, the work he does in the week, targets specific areas of the game. The back end of the game in these big ones are the telling quarters.
Go for.
Here is O'Loughlin and Ben Flower into the middle of the field, bang in front of those posts now. Biggest territorial gain Wigan have made so far in the match. Luluai hoists the kick. Out to Marshall's wing. Marshall bats it back in field, but it comes up for the Salford Red Devils.
Bill, it's another poor kick, and this time it's off the man who's paid to make those plays. Thomas Luluai comes off his right foot. Chris Ninu a drop right back to near the try line. Expecting more depth from that kick, and maybe Marshall to challenge him in the air, but again another poor kick from the Warriors.
Here's Kensio. It's the ball batted down, and it was Salford first to get there. Here's George Griffin, tries scorer on this ground in the playoff loss. 12-18 it was. Chris Wellham now.
Very simple tactics from them. Not what we've seen for much of the season here, but they're in the playoffs. Simple run, one man carries and a kick into the corner.
Oh, into Burgess's hands. The referee says no knock on. Was it?
Surrender!
Well, he managed to keep it off the ground.
Stand Chris!
Kept hold of it.
Now you send it go.
Hardiker not appreciating the tackle from Wellham there, but Wigan do get the penalty then for offside.
If Salford have got any chance to win this game, they've got to come out on the right side of the penalty count, I think. Look at that, not working with the referee. Gil Dudson in the middle of the field. The man been penalised along with Tyrone McCarthy.
That's it, mate. End of stories. No, Sean. End of conversation. Go, mate. No, just get on with the game.
Sean O'Loughlin discussing something with Ben Thaler. So Wigan's first penalty of the night.
Yeah. Where's ball?
And an opportunity for them
Time is off.
to settle things down after a bit of a ragged start from the home side. The defending champions, remember, looking to get to Old Trafford again to take on St Helens.
Wait, please. Go.
There's Powell. Ben Flower now. Mossop with the tackle. There is Sam Powell.
Surrender! Stand free, line,
Wigan about 10 metres away now as Partington plays the ball. Tommy Luluai. Here is Sean O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin back across the field, back towards that far side, and then finds Hankinson, and Hankinson goes to ground.
4, go.
Marshall's pass. Here is Powell and Partington now.
5, move, Logan! Keep going, Gil. Don't hold him in back.
Still about 10 metres away. Powell appeals. Now Thomas Luluai. Luluai's little kick. Too strong.
A good defence from Salford. Ollie Partington looking to find the ground instead of looking to punch a hole into Salford. And again, Salford just coming up with all the answers.
Well, kicking accuracy was a big difference between St Helens and Wigan last week, and it certainly hasn't started well for the Warriors tonight.
One motion! Ready, boys, one. Go!
Here is George Griffin now, just over the halfway line for the Salford Red Devils.
Right here, please. Tommy! Go!
Tompkins, Lee Mossop now. Grand final winner with the Wigan Warriors in 2013, Mossop was. Logan Tompkins, little run from the hooker. Game going from end to end rapidly. Jackson Hastings, Josh Jones. Such good footwork for a big man, Josh Jones. And then strength as well.
He's got some power, hasn't he, Josh Jones? Good footwork as well.
Ball back on the inside to McCarthy. McCarthy for Dudson. Has he got that ball down? Gil Dudson, has he got the try? Ben Thaler's going to go to the video ref. He reckons it is a try, but what does Robert Hicks, the video ref, make of that?
Yeah, but I don't think there's a problem with this. He turns over, it's all in the same. He's got the momentum going forward. Good work, nice little interplay as well. I think it was Tyrone McCarthy that popped the ball on the inside to the rampaging Gil Dudson that was pushing up with him. Look at that, nice little one-handed offloads. He spins around, he gets over the line. There's no problem with this. Good play as well from Logan Tompkins that gets him on the front foot, gets that quick play of the ball. They've got so many options, moving options around the ball carrier. Not a problem, Bill.
They're just too fast, Salford, at the minute, aren't you? When you heard Sean O'Loughlin talk to the referee, he wanted to speed the game up. He felt that Salford were lying on and slowing the game down. Well, that's exactly what they're doing. But when it's their time to run the ball, they are running quicker, harder, playing the ball quicker than their opposition. He's having a good few looks at it, isn't it, Robert Hicks?
Well, it's all about movement. You know, the tackle isn't completed until the momentum stops, and he's clearly got that ball over the line. This should be awarded.
Gil Dudson gets the first try of the night to the delight of those Salford Red Devils supporters at that far end of the ground. And Dudson, who has, as previously mentioned, been in outstanding form in these playoffs, gets his second try of the season. And this has been, it was Wigan who wanted the big start. It's Salford who got it.
Well, it's always good when you see the lights interplay around the middle of the ruck. You got Lola here to Tyrone McCarthy, then Gil Dudson just pushing up. When you're supporting your teammate, they are always good signs. No one gives Salford a chance of getting to this position. They're here and they're making the most of it.
Chris Naninu then, 2 from 2 so far, and this to take the Salford Red Devils into double figures. Dudson with the try. 3 from 3. And Salford lead here at the DW Stadium by 10 points to 0.
Well, Salford's first try in last week's playoff game was on the last tackle. It came from a clever kick. Here again, it's the last tackle, but it's clever interplay between forwards in the middle of the pitch, passing the ball back inside rather than traditionally as teams do out towards the wings. And then the players have stayed alive, they've stayed focused, and he's had the presence of mind to spin over and put that ball down. What a dream start for Salford and the supporters.
He saves his tries for the big guns, does Gil Dudson. His other try this season came against St Helens in May. There he is again.
He's been brilliant this year. He was voted at the awards night Player of the Year, Players Player. Not a bad job, was it, from him this year, the Welsh international.
Tyrone McCarthy offloads. Here is Dudson.
Did he just sidestep then as well?
There's Ben French on the field here now. Wigan made a change very quickly early in that match. You know, last week against St Helens, the game was effectively over after about 30, 33 minutes. Wigan can't afford to lose it again here now in the next 15.
That's the 5th tackle. And they're just inside Wigan territory of Salford. And Hastings hoists that kick. And Burgess comes for it, claims that one. Wellham with the tackle.
Well taken by Burgess. There's a collected deep breath, isn't there, from Wigan? They know they're under the pump. Playing a team that's faster, more determined at the play the ball, need to find some ruck speed from somewhere. And in their haste to play the ball quickly, Zaki Ardeka drops it. He's trying to generate that ruck speed, Ardeka. It's a committed defensive effort from Salford again.
I've said before, and I'll say it again, they're feeling the pressure, Wigan here. They are well and truly, when you're up against a team that wants to defend, not only wants to defend, they want to hurt you. Whether they're carrying the ball or defending, you're looking up, you want that quick play the ball, you're seeing what's in front of you. They're rattled.
Pressure on the champions.
Jackson, 10 seconds. Bang, please.
Conceding possession once again, and in dangerous territory to a dangerous side who really are full of confidence, this Salford team, on the back of this great run. And they are about 20 metres or so away now. Closer still. Here is Hastings. Hastings, McCarthy once more. Tyrone McCarthy, the Irish international. He's tackled about 8 metres out or so. Farrell and McCarthy tangling. Tompkins gets the pass away to Jackson Hastings. Hastings, a little trickery, then Inu comes bursting back on the inside. Gets the pass away to Niall Evalds. Evalds has great pace, but French hounds him down. French, it looks on, in place of Sam Powell. Tompkins with the pass to Jackson Hastings, and Hastings trying to burst through again, but O'Loughlin read that one. Made the tackle with Farrell's assistance. Here is Logan Tompkins now. Tompkins gets the pass away. Lollahay's little kick. Too strong.
Maybe Thomas Luluai has left the field early as Wigan here now go to speed it up.
It is, you're right. Sam Powell is out there still. Oh! Willie Isa and Tommy Luluai going head-to-head. That's why.
They certainly didn't hold anything back then. No self-preservation from Luluai. Come off second best though.
Wigan also have Morgan Smithies out there.
Well, they look shell-shocked, don't they? They've been down on the canvas twice almost in this opening quarter. Got to rebuild some confidence, and Farrell attempts to do that. They're going forward. What's the quality of the kick like here? How much threat and pressure do they put on the Salford?
It's with Williams and then Partington, but it's Lollahea with a good tackle. Powell, Williams hoists a little kick, and Evalds is underneath it, but it's Bevan French who gets to it first, and French is just snaffled by the Salford defenders.
He's got speed and he's good in the air, isn't he, Bevan French? He times this to perfection. When the ball goes up in the air, he knows it's a competition, it's a one-on-one. And give a pat on the back to Lollahea as well, the way that he took down Partington.
It's look at that timing,
timing's everything.
There's 4 players around him. As soon as he catches that ball, 4 Salford defenders.
Bibby with a good strong run. Now here's Ken Seo. Denied a try on this ground. Very close he was in that 18-12 defeat. Josh Jones. They're not going to let Jones do what he does, which is create havoc, basically, Josh Jones.
They're going to ask him to try and run over Bevan French, though, for the remainder of this game.
Hastings across the field, and then basketball style to Wellham. Gildart sticks to his task, but Wellham gets the pass away to Hastings. Hastings accelerating into Wigan territory.
Oh, they're not going to die wandering now. They're Salford side. Not conservative from them.
Hastings slow to get to his feet. Bit of a bang there. Lollahea's kick off the outside of the boots is a difficult one for Marshall. Marshall claims it and does well to defuse that. Restart on the 20, but the referee says, let's do it properly.
Yeah, the Wigan players are in front of Marshall and is trying to take a quick tap, get a disorganised defensive line. And it took a bit of a knock, Jackson Hastings. It looks like he's okay. His family's flew over for this game.
Tends to take a few knocks, Jackson Hastings. Puts himself where you're going to get a few knocks, doesn't he?
Well, he's a dangerous player when he's got the ball, so you have to make sure that you confront him every time he comes at you, but you never know what he's going to do, whether he's a running threat, a passing threat. So dangerous.
Man of Steel, contender. And here is Sir George Williams likewise. Williams, his farewell appearance on this ground. Is his farewell appearance for the Wigan Warriors going to be at Old Trafford before he goes to the NRL to join the English crew at Canberra. Here's Partington. Partington stumbling into the tackle.
Stand for. Wait, boys. Go.
Powell. Williams with the kick, just dinking it over the top into Evalds territory, but it's Sio who gets there first.
Well, this is going to be hay, boys, hay for Salford. They've got to contend with this ferocious Wigan line. Look, Chris Wellham, he's pushed back behind the advantage line. Just 5 metres from the line now. Bit of fighting now with Tony Clubb. You'd expect that, don't you? They look to go wide of the ruck, looking for space, but just can't come and find any yet.
Back here, boys, 3.
Krishnan Inu, big figure on the wing. Here is Bibby, who is a winger as well, playing in the centre.
Back here, Tony. Good 4.
Good decision by Bibby. He had that ball, made it available, pulled it back in, recognising that to get to the kick, to complete sets, is the MO for Salford this evening.
That's better from Wigan. Hastings forced to kick from deep in his own territory, and it's Hardacre already over the halfway line for Wigan.
And if they keep wanting to get the ball back in decent field position, that's why the defence needs to make sure that they restrict those yards that Salford are trying to make.
Hankinson it was playing the ball now then. Here's Bevan French. At least had the satisfaction of getting a try against St Helens in the massacre at the totally wicked stadium last week. Williams, a little bit of trickery from him, but Lollahea saw that coming. Griffin and Wellham in there to tackle as well. Burgess, Liam Farrell. This is Liam Farrell's 250th Wigan appearance, and Williams, little neat kick over the top, but well claimed by Ken Sio, and Sio will counter now.
Oh, no panic from Sio when he goes up for that ball. Looking, has it been stolen by Farrell? Does he get a penalty? Yeah, he does, says the referee, Betfred.
I suppose a positive for Wigan is they are putting Salford under pressure. When the kicks are going up, they're being contested. There's a stress put on their opponents here. To have to contest the ball, gather it in. They've shown great skill.
He never lost the ball. He never lost the ball. Never got into Liam Farrell's possession. So it was the right call. They called him out the tackle, and that resulted in the penalty.
It's a Wigan player down at the moment. It's Sam Powell who's in trouble. And given that he's gone into this game with this wrist injury, that's not good news for Wigan.
There'll be other players as well that are strapped up, maybe had a painkiller injection just to get on the field. They're tough old warriors, aren't they?
Back on, Frank.
And looking at Salford, the way they defend as well, there's no panic in the line, there's no arms frantically waving to teammates to come over. They're numbering up, they're playing what's in front of them, and they seem to be solving the problems at present.
Massive game, massive weekend all over the world, all over the rugby league world. The £1 million game in Toronto when they take on Featherstone. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow on Sky Sports Arena for a place in Super League. And then, of course, the NRL Grand Final, Sunday morning, 9:30 on Sky Sports Arena. The Roosters against the Canberra Raiders, looking for their first crown in 25 years. Canberra with their English contingent. Here is Jackson Hastings, and Hastings a little run, but Isa with the tackle. Hankinson there as well. Hastings a little gesture towards the referee that might have been a bit high. Here is the try scorer, Gil Dudson.
Good 5.
Tompkins, and Hastings gets the kick away and is then clattered.
Logan Tompkins is offside.
Club doing the clattering.
Been penalised there, Logan Tompkins. Offside in front of the kicker. Ben Thaler talking to him as well, saying that you've got to make sure that you pull out. You can see him just to the right. He's loitering with intent.
Well, Tony Clubb, he's coming into this game under the microscope for actions like that. Jackson Hastings will feel the breath of Tony Clubb every time he kicks the ball or every time he takes the ball at first receiver. There's Thomas Luluai for that head clash.
Just over the halfway line, Wigan, and here is Clubb. Wigan haven't suffered a playoff defeat since 2012 when they were beaten by Leeds 13-12. They've got a penalty at home.
Gil Dudson doesn't need to do that. He hits the youngster Morgan Smithies late as he passes the ball, and he gifted the opposition another set of 6. See, it doesn't hurt him, doesn't knock him down. It's just a pointless penalty to give away in such a big game.
First blot on Dudson's copybook tonight. A penalty that's put Salford on the back foot, retreating towards their own try line.
Jake, get him out!
There's Bevan French. Morgan Smithers now the outstanding young player. 18 years of age, got through a mountain of work this season as the Halifax-born youngster. Here is Bevan French now. French.
If you think about Wigan here, they've got no Sean O'Loughlin, no Tommy Luluai. It's hard for them here. They don't look like a team that are well drilled here now in their attack. Ball goes back, but they're making this up now.
George Williams. Well, Williams is pretty good at making it up off the cuff.
Move in the line.
Liam Farrell. 4 tackles gone this set. Sam Powell. Powell's pass to Williams. Williams on to Bevan French. French, little grubber kick from French. Where is it, says Jackson Hastings. It's right by his feet, and he gets it before Hankinson can.
Again, just no panic from Salford, and to be fair to Salford, Wigan started with O'Loughlin and Thomas Luluai, and still they were making mistakes. I just think that I'm looking at a Salford side that really want this game. You can have all the skill in the world, let me tell you, as a team, but there's something that's under your chest on your left-hand side, and you've got to make sure that that's pumping and that's ready for the action.
Well, here's that rush kick. He was forced into that kick because the defenders from Salford were in the line. There was no options available to him. When we've seen him in that versatile role, that utility role, play a little bit in the middle, play a little bit on the edge, and he's been given a big responsibility with Luluai. Let's not forget his 450th career game this evening. Luluai, a lot of experience that's not on the field for Wigan.
A lot of experience in that man, the Salford captain, Lee Mossop. I should say it was that Leeds defeat in 2012 was Wigan's last home playoff defeat. So it's 7 years since they lost a home playoff tie. They are trailing here by 10 points to 0 to the unsung Salford Red Devils. Hastings kick, ricochets. Frustration from him.
They can't quite get it through the line, Jackson Hastings. You know that you're on red alert if you're a right-sided player for the Warriors. And Bevan French
ricochets in through and he knocks it on, doesn't he?
He plays for it, that's okay. If he would have caught it cleanly, it would have been another set of 6. Unfortunately, it's a mistake.
Justin Holbrook in the stands. His side will be facing either Wigan or the Salford Red Devils at Old Trafford next Saturday, October the 12th. We're on air from 5 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena. And Justin Holbrook's side did a comprehensive job on Wigan last week, beating them 40 points to 10. We've seen Tommy Luluai on the sidelines. We saw that head clash. Jenna Brooks has got word on him.
A big blow for Wigan. He has failed his HIA. You saw him before. Sitting in the dugout with a coat on. He will not be returning.
That is a massive blow.
Yeah, massive. Changes the way that you play. Your game plan during the week building up. Thomas Luluai would have been a key part of that.
So Bevan French is on, and he has a key part to play there. That's a good kick, and that's a good chase.
Well, what a wonderful kick and chase from Bevan French, and who's there to collect it? Jackson Hastings takes a look up, assesses the situation. He's got Zach Hardacre on his left, and the kicker chasing up hard on his right. Repeat set from Wigan. They don't have Thomas Luluai, and the structure that they've trained with all week will be altered. But this guy will try and do anything, so the unpredictable is coming at the Red Devils next.
And French playing his 8th game since joining the Wigan Warriors from Parramatta. Will his 9th be at Old Trafford? Well, Wigan has still got plenty of time, coming up towards the half-hour mark, just a 10-point Salford lead. All it would take was Wigan to click into gear, but the cogs are not connecting at the moment. Here is Liam Farrell. Powell, little one-handed pickup. Williams, and then Morgan Smithers, and Smithers runs into a stiff tackle from Adam Walker. Greg Burke in there as well, another of the former Wigan contingent. Then the pass. Good work right in front of those posts. Partington it is, driving it in. Clubb was there, but Wigan are denied on the try line.
Well, they're playing a game of patience, aren't they, here now, to see if they can grind down their opponents. They're pushing them farther and farther back to start a set. Obviously just centimetres from their own try line here, and hoping that territorially they can just turn them over and then turn it into some points.
Wellham spragged to the ground by Partington. Here is Adam Walker now, just named in the Scotland squad for their World Cup qualifiers coming up this autumn.
Good ground made by the big man.
Hastings. Jake Bibby. Very much a Salford product, Jake Bibby. Scholarship player when he was a youngster. Still only 23. Krishnan Inu. There is Joey Lussick. He's on the field as Hastings launches that kick high towards Joe Burgess, and Burgess is comfortable underneath that one. No great pressure on the winger.
Well, 9 minutes to go to half-time. This Salford side have worked really, really hard, and you can just sense, and everyone in the ground can just sense that Wigan just are getting used to the pace of the game, getting used to the challenges. And all they've got to do is make sure they don't panic and execute the plays when they're in the right area of the field.
You said that, Tez, but Ian Watson has brought on Joey Lussick. He's got some craft, he's got some guile around the play of the ball. Two different hookers Salford go with. How's he going to change that ruck area up?
Farrell. Howell's pass to Clubb. Clubb skips past the first challenge, and it's Mark Flanagan who brings him down. Then Powell and Williams with a little kick cross field. Wellham is underneath that and wasn't particularly tested by it.
Well, you would have thought that maybe Hardacre or Gildart would have really challenged Chris Wellham, who won't be giving his opposite Oliver Gildart any space today in this game. Remember last time they played a couple of weeks ago, he stood him up with his footwork.
It's Krishnan Inu playing the ball. Mark Flanagan tasted the playoffs when he was a Wigan player. Flanagan did earlier in his career. Josh Jones. Powell low down. That's the 5th tackle. And Lolohea. Big kick straight down the field, straight into the arms of Hardacre.
Well, he looked up then, Lolohea, and he couldn't see any space. The wingers had dropped back, the full-back had dropped back. There wasn't any space behind him. Nice carry from Gildart to bring the ball tight off the ruck.
You couldn't accuse Wigan of not running hard enough over the last few minutes. I guess an outcome of that is the fact that you awarded a penalty. The opponents, the defenders, Griffin holds on here for too long, and it will eventually give Wigan that chance here now to attack 6 players close to their own opponent's line. But finding a way through Salford's defence hasn't been easy for the last half an hour. Need some magic here now from George Williams and co.
Well, the penalty has taken Wigan up towards that. So, and then they've lost the ball. They've lost the ball.
You want impact, don't you, from your bench, and Liam Byrne. I'll talk to him all the time. I really rate this young lad. He's a big, powerful, aggressive, direct runner, but he's hit by Flanagan. And then all of a sudden, I think it's Greg Burke from the former Wigan who comes in and just jams him. Well, you can see the ball. He goes in, he hits him, he loses possession.
They are really fortunate to have not only Tyrone McCarthy, but Mark Flanagan, who can interchange with one another. Really hard workers, a good body of work put in by both players. Not always the most glamorous, not always the most eye-catching, but important players within any squad. It's always good to have a player who acts like glue, who keeps everything together.
Josh Jones takes some stopping, does Josh Jones, the Salford second row. Now here is Greg Burke. Made 46 appearances for his hometown club, Burke.
Sam, I want you quicker in the throat, come on.
Adam Walker now. Another one of these signings that Ian Watson has made who've galvanised their careers, because Walker was in a bit of a wilderness after his ban from the sport. But Ian Watson gave him his chance and he has repaid him, and Hastings just drills that to touch. He knows The clock is on their side as far as half-time goes.
And let's be honest, Bill, Ian Watson's given a lot of chances to a lot of these players, and his man management, I think, has been absolutely phenomenal. Not just this year, but over the last 4 years, that he's got players, he's identified players that have been released thinking, yeah, he fits the way that I want to play. I've done my research on him, he seems to be good for the environment, good for the culture, I'll bring him in. And you can't deny what he's done, it's a phenomenal job.
His attention to details,
brilliant,
meant to be very precise as well, isn't it?
Brilliant, cheeky little halfback, that's what he was. Probably still is.
He was actually complaining after last week. His side had won. He couldn't do his prep over his weekend because, of course, he didn't know who he was going to play. So, no sooner has he finished with the game that he's won than he's getting ready for the next game coming up.
So, Wigan in possession. They trail on their own pitch by 10 points to 0. The prize is a place at Old Trafford in the Betfred Super League Grand Final to meet St Helens next Saturday. And Salford, at the start of the season in February, you would have thought that they were the most unlikely of candidates for that place.
Yeah, incredible. Some big defence again, just driving Tony Clubb back 5 metres. A loose offload from Sam Powell.
And Wigan really...
There's no way through for him. There's no way through.
And
punishing defence from Salford.
Scragging Bevan French to the ground, and then the referee says that's a knock-on.
And there you go, and that's the reward. If you can get your best attacking player showing that much enthusiasm and drive for defence, you've got something really special. There was no way through for them in that set. Loose offloads, offloading to players who actually didn't want the ball. They threw it to somebody else. There's the knock-on from Bevan French.
Well, Tutcher just said that he didn't have control of that ball when he played it. Seemed to get it on the ground and play it backwards. So they decided he didn't have control.
So Wigan had a big challenge to recover from the heaviest defeat last week. They've got an equally sized challenge here now at half-time for them to turn around the flow of the game. 10 points is nothing, is it? 2 converted tries. But the manner in which the game's played, the skill and control that Wigan have had for the ball, that's got to take a radical change here now for them to come back.
10 points at half-time. Salford might have other ideas about that because they're on the attack now. 3 minutes to go until the break. Here is Flanagan, on to Hastings, Hastings, pass to Bibby, and Bibby has found a way through. He can't get that down.
What about the time that Hastings had on that ball then? Just, he runs at the line, he's got the ball in 2 hands. As a defender, you just rock him back. Bibby's going really hard at the line.
Tell you what, Bevan French has come to the rescue there.
He's kept them in this game.
And here is Walker now. And Wigan retreating. Salford looking to press home the advantage. This is the last tackle, and Hastings will go for it. Hastings for Bibby, and Bibby again is denied just short of the try line.
Willie Iser again. He's covered every inch of this field, Willie Iser. It's no wonder he's exhausted getting up to play that ball.
Here is Hankinson, and Wigan relieved to come away from their own try line without conceding more points and giving the ball a little bit of width here, and Gildart cutting infield. Gildart moving, and then there's obstruction there, says the referee.
We're looking to play the right out of trouble. They were trapped over in the right-hand side. You always felt that it was going to go. You always felt that they were going to shift it. And will they take 2 points here? Joey Lussick says to the referee, yeah, we'll take the 2 points.
I think Greg Burke runs into the back of George Williams, doesn't it?
That's the one. George Williams is in front of the ball and in the defensive line, and he's caused the block. And that's the penalty.
Right, he's got to find space. There's no find space.
And Sam Powell and Liam Farrell just seeking an explanation from referee Ben Thaler for that decision. So they started this half conceding a penalty, which cost them 2 points, and it looks like they're going to end it. Well, they've conceded a penalty, but will it cost them 2 more points through the boot of Chris Naninu to extend Salford's lead?
On the line, boys, please.
Well, a reliable boot from Chris Naninu. And they give his teammates as well just some Time to catch the breath. Been frantic pace in this first opening 39 minutes. Must be a big boost if it goes over.
The Wigan coach heading down to the dressing rooms to greet his side as Krishnan Inu lines up another kick at goal. To give Wigan a 12-0 lead going into half-time. And the Salford fans behind him know exactly the outcome of that. The flags go up. The fists go up in jubilation. Ian Watson, Paul Rowley on the sidelines remain impassive. But their side have had an extraordinary first half. They lead by 12 points to 0. Inu with 4 successful kicks at goal. Gil Dudson with the only try of the game so far. They came close, very close, towards the end of the first half there, and Wigan had Bevan French to thank for denying Jake Bibby a second Salford try. And who will be in the Betfred Super League Grand Final next Saturday at Old Trafford? Will it be the Wigan Warriors, the reigning champions, or the newbies, the Salford Red Devils, who have never been this close? Not even with a sniffing distance. But they are that close now to facing St Helens. Next Saturday, we are on air from 5 o'clock. Sky Sports action. And there's the St Helens coaching contingent running the rule over next week's opponents. Ben Thaler, the referee, wearing a black armband tonight, as are his touch judges Marcus Griffiths and Clint Sharrod, in memory of Marie Martin, wife of fellow match official Tony Martin, who passed away earlier this week. Second half underway then, and Wigan with an almighty job to do here to just wrest control of this game from the fired-up Salford Red Devils, the confident Salford Red Devils, who go into this one having won just one of 22 visits to the DW Stadium. You would not have thought that on the first half performance.
Salford are right in this game because of the hard work that they've done. And I will say one thing, somebody at Wigan is in bother. They're giving Justin Holbrook a cup of tea at half-time. They don't usually give him anything from St Helens.
You don't know what's in it. Yeah. Well, it's Salford in possession and making inroads again with Josh Jones. And Jones is able to offload to Joey Lussick. Big brother Darcy involved in that £1 million game tomorrow. Darcy Lussick, member of the Toronto Wolfpack squad. Joey could be facing him next season in Super League. Greg Burke now. And Salford looking to make a big start to the second half. They ended the first half well with that Inu penalty. They're putting Wigan under pressure again here now. And here is Evalds. Bevan French with the tackle. That was the last. And Sio, it's Evalds who is denied.
What about that for a set of 6? You know, 2 offloads caused them some problems. They made 95 metres carrying the ball. A great way to start the second half and set down that marker.
Remember, Tommy Luluai is out for the remainder of this game after a head clash with his own teammate Willie Isa. So that is a massive blow for the Wigan Warriors.
This is what they need, more firepower in the middle. They've got no chance of sparking the back line into life and scoring the points they need to win unless they start to go forward and dominate in the middle of the pitch.
Williams puts the kick in, Evalds fields it and gives it to Ken Sio. Let's go down to the sidelines and get the half-time news from Jenna Brooks.
Thanks, Bill. Both coaches had very quick messages. Adrian Lamb, confident he can get back, or his team can get back into the game. They just must score first. He's positive they can do that so long as they stick to the game plan. As far as Ian Watson goes, he's just asked his players to be tighter in the ruck. He felt that George Williams and Bevan French were just trying to exploit that area of Salford's game. But all in all, Ian Watson is very happy.
Well, he might be. The Salford coach nominee for Coach of the Year. Ian Watson on the back of a remarkable season. 11th they were last year at the season's end. Qualifiers, contenders, and now here they are, third in the table, and at the moment on their way to Old Trafford.
Well, Wigan seem to be really loose in contact. Their arms grabbing. You can see that Salford are getting the bodies in front. That's because the field position, by the way, that they're playing off. And it's really hard. Like Joe Burgess there, he's feeling all the pressure, just the Salford players in front of him. The last time they had the ball in this second half, they only made 23 metres. What can he make in this set?
That is not the pass you need that close to your line, and a change in tactic for Salford. At the back end, they kicked to Liam Marshall. All the first half kicks have been on the head of Joe Burgess.
And Wigan coming forward with that massive Salford supporters at their backs, breathing down their necks and urging them to make an error. Well, the kick is fielded by Niall Eccles.
Well, that's the blueprint for you. Get through your sets and just trap Wigan near their own line. So 23 metres first set, 20 metres the second set. Keep going forward. If you get your hand free and it's a controlled offload, look for your teammate.
Lussick's pass to Ken Seo.
Go 3. Good Clint.
Here is Adam Walker now. Walker winds up to meet the challenge of Willie Isa and Liam Byrne there.
Go 4.
Lussick's pass for Hastings, and Hastings at pace, and Jones again crabbing infield. Jones ducks, charges towards those posts. He's closer still. That's the 5th tackle. They're bang in front of those posts. Is Lussick going for it? And has he got that down? Has he got that down? Ben Thaler will go to the video ref again. The Salford supporters are jubilant. But Joey Lussick put his head down and went for it. And he might have got his 13th try of the season. It's down to video ref Robert Hicks.
Bill, you can't back off and expect to be dominant in defence. And Joey Lussick, look at him. His angle, his body position is absolutely perfect. To get in between Hardacre and Byrne, he knows exactly where he's going. He tenses, he's bracing himself. The line's there, the ball's there. Well, he's just short with the point of the ball. Does he roll over onto the belly of the ball? You can see his body still moving.
Yeah, well, I think we see that the ball does start off short, but he only has to get a fraction of that ball onto the line, and his momentum's going forward.
Well, you think those two are looking, the ball's down, but his body ends up, I think his body, does it still keep on moving forward, or does it stop there?
The bloke in the best position is the one that sent it up as a try, Ben Thaler.
See, he rolls forward there, doesn't he? So the tip of the ball, does he roll forward onto the belly of the ball?
Well, I think the other thing that the video referee might be concerned about is, does he actually maintain possession of the ball? Does his hand come away from the ball as it hits the ground? From looking at that, I don't think you can say that it can't be a try.
That's a try. Look, first impact, point to the ball on the ground. Then as his body rolls over, the ball just rolls over onto that white line.
And we both all agree that camera angles are deceptive. If you look from one angle, it doesn't look like a further line. Look from another, and it does. So the referee awarded a try. Let's go with this call.
Ian Watson pacing on the sidelines. The Salford fans awaiting the decision. A try that could extend their lead here and take them closer to glory. And Lussick celebrates as it's awarded by Robert Hicks.
The 6th and 13th try that Joey Lussick scored this season is probably the most important, but everyone looks almost exactly the same as that. He goes hard and low near the opponent's try line, and there isn't a forward in Super League who's crossed the line more often than him. The coach has used him as a substitute, an impact from the bench. He waits patiently for half an hour, and then when he's released into play, boy, do you notice it.
Well, Willie Isa just laying down the law. Chris Ninu will be taking his time here. Knows how valuable these points will be. What a big start to this second half from Salford.
The domination continues. And Inu, 32 years of age now. And as accurate as ever into the Salford supporters at that end of the ground. And they lead 18-0. They nilled the Castleford Tigers last time out. They've got Wigan with a big 0 against their name at the moment.
Week in, week out, you see that try score. And I'm saying to myself, why don't players learn? Why aren't players ready? Well, they do learn, they are ready, but they still can't stop Lussick.
Keep it going.
Talked about it at the back end of the first half. It's a different team, Salford, when Joe and Lussick is on, and the support behind those sticks are bringing this team home. Long way to go. The support from the Salford fans is driving this team forward.
Joe Lussick's 13 tries have come against 13 in 13 different games. Never done a double. So that's it for tonight.
Well, they just need it. The only thing they need now is a one-pointer. You've got to get to a drop goal, and I think then they can start to press confirm on the ticket order really for grand final.
Go for.
Any fans are watching here now, no, they only need one more point, I think. One more point will be enough.
Oh, long way to go, Phil. We're only 6-7 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, trapped him in good.
Wigan surely have got some fight left in them as Inu thumps the ball downfield and Hardacre gathers.
And look at that line as well. Defending on the front foot, he just, like you say, just walloped that ball, didn't he, Chris Inu? Looking for distance now, speed of the line, nice and aggressive. Catching Burgess more or less where they played the ball previously.
Well, if Wigan needs some help, they've sent the 5-star general out onto the pitch. Sean O'Loughlin here, what could be his last game for Wigan now, needs really to somehow inspire tremendous comeback.
Powell. No Tommy Luluai, and they get the penalty. Good work from Morgan Smithies. Griffin, the man, penalised.
A good fight from the youngster, wasn't it? Look at him, he won't go to ground. He gets up, he's trying to get Griffin off him and walking away from him so he can play the ball cleanly.
The Wigan fans at that end of the ground, and they are outnumbered as far as each end of the ground goes. Salford dominating in terms of the crowd at the moment, and it's their side who are on the defensive, and that's a good tackle on Morgan Smithies. It was Burke, but here's Powell, and that's another penalty to Wigan.
Calm down.
Yeah, well, Greg Burke gets his head on the wrong side of the ruck, and then obviously because his position's wrong in the tackle, just holds onto the leg and gets caught on the wrong side of the ruck.
Go, mate.
Powell then. Here is Liam Byrne. Wigan desperate to turn the tide here. O'Loughlin, Willie Isa, who was laying down the law to his teammates after that Joey Lussick try. Powell gets the pass away. Smithies, but he's cut down. Burke and Griffin doing the tackling. And now Clubb driving towards the line, but again Burke goes in low and stops him. Powell, Hardacre, now Willie Isa to Bevan French back on the inside to Hankinson. Salford keeping their shape as Hankinson goes across the field. It's Lussick who makes the tackle. Powell, that's the fifth, and it's O'Loughlin now. They're running it on the last. It's with Gildart. Gildart a little shimmy and trying to force his way towards the try line, but there's numbers there for Salford.
Well, Chris Wellham wasn't to be caught out again, was he? As soon as Gildart gets the ball, along with his teammates, he comes in, he snuffs them out. A couple of players from Wigan underneath the sticks. It was just a one-up carry either side of the ruck. They didn't shift the ball, and then when they do shift the ball, look at that. 5 players taking Gildart over the sideline.
Go, hand over.
That's hard to play against. Anytime you play against a side that put a 5-man tackle in, you know there's just a special energy inside them. It's going to take something absolutely incredible. I mean, they'd have to concede an interception try here, really, for the full flow of the game to change around.
Salford bidding to become just the 8th club to appear in the grand final in 22 years. It's been dominated by the likes of Wigan and St Helens and Leeds. But they could become the first name to be etched on that trophy since the Rhinos in 2004. They could be.
Just Jones finding an offload and finding space.
Wellham needed to be a good tackle from Gildart. 4 gone this set. Here is Griffin. Heading for the Castleford Tigers next season, George Griffin. Lussick. Lollahey, a little chip kick over the top, and he will chase it, but across comes Burgess, and Burgess puts his foot down and will try and counter now. Gets away from Jones. Good work from the winger.
You know, you look at the start of the year, and Lollahey come to Salford when he signed for Leeds Rhinos, and you would have told him, look, at the end of the year, you could be playing in a grand final. I bet he didn't think he was going to be in a Salford shirt. I know there's still 30 minutes to go, a big 30 minutes to go from Salford. But wow, what a season.
Yeah, Tui Lollahey swapped for Robert Louis. Look where he is now, edging closer towards a grand final appearance after an unhappy start to his Super League career. Didn't have the best of times at the Rhinos. Line pass, forward. It was forward.
You could see Oliver Gildart, a player who hasn't given up and still trying to find something for his side to play off. He wants a runner, he thinks he's found it in Willie Iser, another tireless worker in Cherry and White. The pass is forward. It's desperate measures from Wigan. They're trying to force something. They're trying to make something from little to no platform to play off.
We need somebody else, Wigan! Fellas, we need somebody else! I'll tell you when, Jackson. Bang, boys,
so
please.
Salford's head and feeds.
Blindside.
And here is Chris Naninu.
I bet every time Chris Naninu takes the ball up, everybody's behind him saying, keep hold of it, keep hold of it.
He is a big guy, Chris Naninu. He's played rugby union in France. He played, of course, for the Catalan Dragons. Big NRL career, as mentioned. He appeared in 3 NRL grand finals and lost them all.
There's 3 players loitering at the back of the play the ball now. Is it for a sweeping play? Yes, it is.
Here's Hastings, Griffin. Smithers and Farrell doing the tackling. Now Hastings. Ev Olsen. Here's Josh Jones again. Just takes so much out of the defenders, just Jones, with those charges. And then the pass from Hastings finds Bibby, but that's good defence, and that's the turnover.
Oh, normally takes the right option, doesn't he? That ball goes out the back to Niall Wells. He could have scored it, set up a 2-on-1. Wow, this is great. The Salford fans seem to, every one of them's got a megaphone behind those sticks.
Here's Liam Byrne, and a big thud as he runs into Greg Burke. Burke stands his ground. Smithies. Here's George Williams, and Williams' little burst, but again there's somebody there to make the tackle. It was Walker. Farrell. And Wigan trying to go wide. Well, the ball goes wide.
Well, cover your mate on the inside, so when George Williams steps, Adam Walker's the man who effects the tackle. Then again they look to go over on the left-hand side through Liam Farrell, who rushes, looks to pick up Gildart, pulls out of it, and the ball ends up going into touch.
You know when you're witnessing something special in sport. I mean, this is a unique atmosphere at the moment created by the Salford supporters and provided, I suppose, by the Salford performance on the pitch. Their energy, they seem like they've got twice as many players as Wigan.
Well, they are in great form, Salford. 9 wins from 10 games going into this one. No wonder they were full of confidence. Not overawed by this occasion by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got, it's not as though they're wet behind the ears players. They've got experienced campaigners. Lussick, Flanagan is one of them, Burke another one. And they're driving towards those Salford supporters at that end of the ground. Here's Lussick now. Lollahey. Wellham cuts back in field. Wellham puts his foot to the floor. Oh, big tackle from Powell, and that's another 2 points surely coming, because Powell didn't hang around there.
I think Powell hit his teammate Byrne, didn't he?
Byrne, yeah, it was a clash of heads also. Player born and bred around the Salford area, Liam Byrne. And there's a smaller, more agile player going against the run of play coming back towards some of those bigger defenders. And this will just be 2 easy points. Greg Brown, Ian Watson, dare they dream.
Powell or Byrne, the culprit.
The second tackle, whoever that was, going in. I think Powell going in with his shoulder would be the concern I would have on that. Not attempting to wrap around his left arm. than just going in with his shoulder.
Well, either way, it's presented to Chris Naninu with another straightforward penalty goal. He got 5 from 5 last time out, 5 from 5 already tonight. Why they need to be nervous. They're in control.
They are. They have dictated the pace, the tempo of this game, but not until that whistle goes will they allow themselves to think about Old Trafford.
Inu composes himself. Just a wave of the left arm. Drills it. 20 points to 0. The Salford Red Devils lead here at the DW Stadium and are on course to face St Helens at Old Trafford next week.
Even the most optimistic Salford fans kind of believe that they have a chance of playing Justin Albrook's side with a 20-point lead with less than an hour gone. I don't believe any of them could have travelled to this ground thinking that they would dominate Wigan by so many points. There's still over 20 minutes to go. It's been a fantastic effort from them. Starting by scoring first, the 2 penalty goals were significantly important. It will be if they play Saints next week. They'll have to do the similar.
Do you know who I put this performance down to? Phil Clark. Phil Clark, who questioned the quality of this Salford side a couple of weeks ago, has motivated this team to go on this winning streak. This could take them all the way to the grand final. Ian Watson should be phoning you up and thanking you, Phil.
Thanks, Barrett. Knock on here, chance for Wigan.
Walker getting in a bit of a tangle.
That was some good job.
Youngster Morgan Smith, he's just getting his head in tight with Adam Walker. The ref says that was a
the best player ball again. It's been the best player ball we've had.
Did you see a knock-on?
I didn't see a knock-on, no.
Stand aside, please.
Made contact with his foot, maybe that's what got on last foot.
Let's battle, lads. Heads in now.
Still, it's head and feet to the Wigan Warriors. There's Sean O'Loughlin feeding that scrum. 36th playoff appearance for O'Loughlin. Bevan French.
First tackle down the short side, flings the ball back inside. They've lost the plot at the minute here, Wigan.
As Clubb wrestling his way to his feet, and now Powell's run, and O'Loughlin. George Williams with a little kick through, and they're chasing this one, but who else could be there to grab the ball and save the situation than Jackson Hastings? He is everywhere.
Well, he's certainly a favourite with his new teammates, isn't he, that we're playing for next year, and he seems to be in the thick of the action with all of them. You know, it could be a big week for Salford. Who would have thought that, and maybe who would have had a better start of the year for them to get to a grand final, to have maybe the coach of the year in Ian Watson, and maybe the Steve Prescott Man of Steel in Jackson Hastings. Wow, you would have got good odds for that, wouldn't you?
It's with Jackson Hastings now, and Hastings launches that one into the night sky. 22-0 against the Castleford Tigers, coming up to an hour's play here, and it's 20-0 against the Wigan Warriors. They haven't conceded a point.
Every tackle made by Salford Red Devils greeted with a cheer now to our left.
Sean O'Loughlin. 7 times a grand finalist. He's won 4 of those, but looks as though number 8 is going to get away from him, and it's another pass that sails out of play.
Can't even say, Bill, that it's overplayed. It's the execution that just isn't good enough. And
dear,
there you go.
Dear, oh dear.
She's thinking, I'm going to have to sell that grand final ticket now. I'm going to advertise it tomorrow.
Should still go. It's Rugby League at its best, and we've got the best team this season by a mile, isn't it, St Helens?
And shed 7.
Playing against the team who nobody believed. I drove past Salford University earlier this week, and outside the front of it, there's a giant sign with the letters "Believe." A I wonder if the Salford fans really do believe here now that they can go on the performance here tonight. They can't have any fear of playing the Saints.
It's going to be a change at Old Trafford unless Wigan can pull something out of the hat here, and there is no sign of a rabbit or anything in that hat.
That's been a notable difference to me, the way that the forwards have carried. And then Jackson Hastings with his late lines. Here goes Gil Dudson, centre field. Look at that. The power, meters after contact.
Dudson close again, the try scorer. Griffin. Tackled by Williams. Lollahea puts the kick in. Clubb tries to get there, but it's a Flanagan, and it's 6 to go.
Took a foot out Wigan. The ball was gathered back by Flanagan.
Here is Lee Mossop. Oh, how he'd love to get over the whitewash here. He's got a career best 5 tries this season as Mossop. He's still able to offload. No, he's not. The referee says he was held.
He will not bother who scores as long as that scoreboard is the right way round.
Lollahea over the top to Kensio, who cuts back in field. Almost lost his grip on the ball. Burgess with the tackle on him. But Wigan on the back foot virtually from the word go in this second half. Here is Flanagan. 4 tackles gone. Lussick finds Dudson. Dudson pass over the line. He's Mossop. He has done it. He has got the try. Lee Mossop has got the try that could have sent Salford to Old Trafford. A career best 5 becomes a career best 6 this season for Lee Mossop. They cannot believe it, young and old. Salford are on their way to the grand final.
Well, Bill, I'm going to take my words back. He will care who scores the tries. He's got one of them, and in my opinion, that prop forward, that number 8, it should be worth double points.
Well, both props have scored, Mossop and Dudson.
And both former Wigan players. And Ian Watson. And those fans now are thinking, right, OK, how do we manage this game? Can they go a second week as well, lads? By nilling their opponents. That is some form to take into a final. Whether you're playing Saints or Brisbane or South Sydney. Well, that Wigan fan, well, he's disappointed in the showing from his side tonight. They have been outplayed all over the park.
What's interesting about that try, like the one in the first half, they had forwards supporting forwards, passing close to ruck. Not a try that you typically see all the time in the league with passes out wide or kicks to the corner. They've done it in the first half. That could be the key to any chance of success next week.
And Inu, 6 from 6. Salford, a club that has been perilously close financially, is heading for a big payday at Old Trafford.
The original Red Devils as well, going to play at the home of the Red Devils. Who would have thought it in the major grand final, Old Trafford? Joey Lussick doing a decent job. Gil Dudson, as said before, been a standout performer this year. They go short. It doesn't go the 10. It's a penalty to Salford. Well, from the kick-off of this game, nothing has gone right for the Warriors. They've been forced into making those errors, chasing the game. Seems to have been chasing it realistically from minute 1.
164 minutes it is since Salford last conceded a try. And they don't look like conceding one tonight.
Their energy is good, their attention to detail, which again comes from the leaders above them, and they're enjoying it. There's not many occasions in big games where you've got quite a bit to go on the clock and you can allow yourself to enjoy it. And there's a penalty given away to play the ball. Sam Powell has then backed it up by saying something he shouldn't have done, and that will be 2 points.
They'll go for 2 points here. Jackson Hastings again just has hold of the ball, gives it to Chris Minu, and I wonder if Jackson Hastings is thinking, you know what, this Wigan side are a decent side, but should I be staying at Salford next year?
The only thing they want to worry about is Kristen Inu's hamstring here. He's made that many kicks at goal. They don't want to worry about here.
You know the one positive here, don't you, lads? We'll have no problem getting off this car park at the end of the game, will we?
Well, the man of the match nominations are on the way. The panel of rugby league legends drawing up their shortlist, and the R League app is the place to go to register your votes. When we get that list, I would imagine they will be in the black and red.
Can we have 17?
Fair call that. It's hard to make a case for the cherry and white. Inu, 6 from 6. 7. So many, losing count. This is catastrophic for the Wigan Warriors. On their own pitch, 28-0, hammered by Saints last week. They get another chance to go to Old Trafford.
All I'm going to say to you is, I want you to keep your composure. That's all I'm going to say.
Ben Thaler, Wigan are getting frustrated, and that, I think, is being voiced.
Stay on side, please.
He's just trying to keep them calm. There's a lot of frustration in the Wigan side. He's trying to manage them now.
They will be frustrated because the reigning champions, and they get the penalty. Joe Burgess tackled in the air.
Yeah, you can see that he goes up, he catches it, then Chris Wellham just pulls his head down illegally.
So can Wigan at least break their duck and restore some pride here, because that is all that's really left for them on this night.
Well, Lee Mossop turns round to his hooker and gives him a real blast, because that tackle was under control until Joel Lussick lifts the hips above the head, and that's where the penalty is given. But Mossop had it under control.
But nice from that youngster as well. He's the man who earned the penalty, and he's the first person to put his hand up. 2 years ago, he was playing amateur rugby for Siddle.
I'm not pointing fingers, but he shouldn't be the one taking it forward.
Williams pass for Farrell. Powell. Here is Williams. Really hasn't had a chance to show his skills as Williams, because the Wigan pack has been dominated. But here they are, the Warriors, that close to Salford's line. Maybe a chance for them now to give those supporters something to smile about. The kick ahead, but Evalds comes across and tidies up.
No, we've not really mentioned Niall Evalds in this game, have we? We've not really mentioned that.
We've mentioned Niall Evalds a few times.
Yeah, we've not really mentioned him at the back. We've not mentioned him at the back. I think that's how good they have been defending. He's not been under any pressure whatsoever.
Well, Morgan Smithers has spilt blood in the Wigan cause. The man of the match nominees are in. Here you go, and they are all Salford Red Devils players. Josh Jones, Lee Mossop, try-scoring captain Jackson Hastings, and the metronome Krishnan Inu, 8 from 8 with the boot for the big winger. They are all your man of the match nominees. The R League app is where to go to register your decision. Morgan Smithers is bunged up. Well, it's a learning curve for the 18-year-old.
And that's it, he's 18 and he stands up, doesn't take a backward step to anybody. There's a lot more games to play for that young man.
And here is Krishnan Inu. 16 points to his name for the Salford Red Devils. George Griffin now. And Salford just need to keep it tidy, avoid any injuries or disciplinary problems. There's the kick from Hastings, and Seo is chasing that for all he's worth, and he's forced the error, but Burgess gets it back. That's a relief for Wigan.
It is. And a relief for Jackson Hastings as well, because he just wanted to kick that ball as quick as possible under some pressure. Again, just look how tight Salford are. Defensively, good pressure from Seahawk. Wellham looks to kick the ball forward. Wigan managed to come up with it.
Three, move! Ready, three. Go.
Well, now you've got to think. St Helens against Salford.
Still three.
And your mind goes back to the game. 32-30, wasn't it, when they met at St Helens a month or two ago? Probably a little bit more than that.
Go, four.
Middle of the season almost, really. But the Salford side is a penalty here for high tackling. Salford at St Helens more worried than any other side at the Langtree Park, or totally Wicked Stadium, I should call it now. They've got the ability to score points.
Wigan, who'd beaten Salford 4 times already this season, are very much second best here tonight in the big chance for them this season. When you think how their season started, they too, I mean, they had a rocky start to the season, the points deduction and the Sean Edwards, Adrian Lamb situation and 1 or 2 other off-the-field issues.
I don't even go back that far. They were humiliated last week against Saints. I would have expected them to come out with a bit more fire in the belly today. And they conceded 40 points and they had 1 more chance to get to Old Trafford, and they've not took it.
Well, here is Sean O'Loughlin. It'll be immensely frustrating for the Wigan Warriors captain. 36 years of age now, and not the way he wanted to bow out, if that is what it's going to be. Hardaker, little kick ahead from Hardaker, trying to squeeze his way through, but it ends up in the hands of George Griffin, and there's been that for Wigan tonight, hasn't there? So many players having to take it into their own hands.
And that's the 3rd tackle. The fullback thinks the only option available to me is a chip and chase over the top. Wasn't even a decent kick and chase either from the fullback. But the criticism we had 2 weeks ago when Salford came here in this fixture, first fixture of the playoffs, they didn't take the chances. Well, every opportunity they've had this evening they've taken, and they pressured Wigan into making those mistakes. That's wonderful play again.
This game pitted the club with the most Super League playoff experience in the Wigan Warriors. Their 53rd playoff game this is, against the newbies. 4th playoff game for Salford.
Salford look like they've got more energy now than before the game started. They're so energised, every player back in position. The potential for going to the big prize, Manchester, in just over a week's time, really does. I mean, there's no fatigue at all. Gildart, chip and chase.
Oliver Gildart gathers the ball, looks around for some support, but Eccles is there to make the tackle.
And Jackson Hastings.
O'Loughlin will kick ahead. He's inviting Bevan French to chase, and French might win this race. He will do and get the try and spare Wigan's blushes of being nilled again. 2nd week running, Bevan French has been on the scoreboard. But there's not a lot for him to smile about, because at least Wigan have avoided being nilled, and ironic cheers from some of their supporters.
Well, it's took them 72 minutes to get the 4th score. And Sean O'Loughlin, many people saying they don't know what he's doing next year. Well, I think he's worth another contract, Sean O'Loughlin. The vision that he's got, the power that he's got in the middle, he can play a number of positions. He is the leader of this side. Yeah, it's not gone their way, but there's not many players in a Wigan shirt that would have spotted that space out wide for Bevan French.
Salford, and Hardaker misses the conversion. Salford will be annoyed about that. First points conceded in 170 minutes or so.
You give up at the end then, trying to calculate it, Bill.
Too many numbers.
Well, there's the kick. Nice little place kick from Sean O'Loughlin. And the speed that this man's got, probably the quickest man in Super League, Bevan French. Look at that, just a little look over the shoulder. Nice place kick, good decent weight on it. And Chris Ninu, when he looks over his shoulder and he sees that man, he's chasing it down, he thinks, well, I've lost that one.
Look at those arms folded. Every picture tells a story, doesn't it? Wigan Warriors been outplayed, out-enthused, out-muscled, and in many respects, outclassed by a team that have just rolled their sleeves up, done what they've needed to do. And there is, what, 6 and a bit minutes left of this game.
Well, at least Wigan have spared themselves the embarrassment of being nilled on their own patch for the first time ever in Super League. Well, such a big weekend. Coming up tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Who will be in Super League next season? Toronto or Featherstone Rovers? Find out with a £1 million game. Sky Sports Arena from 7, and the Roosters against Canberra is the NRL Grand Final, Sunday 9:30 AM, Sky Sports Arena. The Roosters going for back-to-back glory, Canberra for their first in 25 years. And Wigan looking for more points. Hankinson, tackled by Jake Bibby.
Go for. Yeah, fine.
6 minutes until Salford can celebrate, reaching Old Trafford. Powell trying to find a way through. Burt makes the tackle. And it's the last, and Farrell kicks cross-field, but straight into the arms of Inu.
We saw that with Willie Isa before, now we see it with Liam Farrell. Just taking it into their own hands, just kicking the ball, and I think it's been a night of that, a frustrating night for the Warriors.
I'm not surprised he's on that 4-man panel. Chris Inu has worked his socks off. He's been as good as he can be off the boot. And he's another one of those players, not sure where his career was going, not sure who loved him, who wanted him. He was shown plenty of love by the Salford crowd and Ian Watson, and they get the absolute best out of him.
8 from 8 from the boots of Chris Inu tonight.
Come on.
Josh Jones. And just to think that 3 years ago Salford were playing for their Super League future in the £1 million game. They've seen it all, in fact. Ian Watson's seen it all. They're still battling to the very end of Salford. The game's in the bag, and the determination there.
They're hungry. They're hungry. That's what they are. And they're fighting for every yard. They don't want to give up those yards or meters. And this sort of play here is just a big credit to their defence. They can't get through them. They look to play outside of them.
Can you see them coping with St Helens?
It's a big hill to climb, but they've climbed this one, haven't they?
Well, as Phil said, there was 2 points in it at the Totally Wicked Stadium. Well, a club that's, like I said, £1 million game, qualifiers last year. Willie Isa bursting through. Isa straightening up, going on his own. Willie Isa, that's been the Wigan method largely tonight. O'Loughlin, little kick ahead from O'Loughlin, and French looking for a second, but Kensio shuffles the ball out of danger.
Yeah, when it comes to a rescue, he grounds the ball behind the try line, so it's going to be a drop-out. Again, Sean O'Loughlin just drops the ball onto his boot. Salford just take the time.
Time's up, Frank.
Massive performance from the Red Devils. Sean O'Loughlin knew coming into this game that they had to be strong in the middle of the field, and they've been outplayed. The middle six have been outplayed by Salford.
Wigan have at least forced a goal line dropout. I think it was the first of the game. In the 76th minute.
One move back! Come on! Go.
And the Salford supporters waiting to salute their side. Gildart, there is Chris Wellen. What an occasion it'll be for him. 32 years of age.
Go.
Sam Powell, Morgan Smithies. Of course, Wigan hampered by the loss of Tommy Luluai very early in proceedings here. That hasn't helped their game plan, but that's cannot take anything from the Salford Red Devils with this effort. Penalty goes Wigan's way.
He melts the penalty from Walker. Sean O'Loughlin does. And they get another crack here. Can they finish off with a try? Finish the year off. A year that looked like it was going to fall apart up to about round 9.
Powell. Oh, and then Clubb couldn't take the pass. And Evalds will counter. And Evalds... You saw what he was thinking there. You saw what he was thinking.
You'd have backed him to break those tackles and go all the way, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, what a way to reach the grand final by laying the Wigan bogey. Ian Watson's side will be facing St Helens now next Saturday, 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock. We're on air. Don't worry, he's got 12. 5 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena, next Saturday, October the 12th. Josh Jones. Salford going into this game with 1 win in 22 visits to this stadium since 2000. What a time to turn the tide of history and get yourself to Old Trafford. Here's Wellham, always trying to find CO, but Burgess just got a hand in there.
Not down by Wigan.
Final minutes of this semi-final at the DW Stadium. The Wigan fans, those that are still here, sitting disconsolately. The Salford supporters who have stayed, waiting to salute their side. The Wigan coach, stony-faced.
Well, it's not been there now, has it? And Bill, I'm just looking at that stand packed to the rafters with Salford fans. That stand looks like it's a derby day when it's Wigan against Saints. Well done to those fans for turning out. Well, you've come a few miles to get to watch this game. It's only 3 or 4 next week, so hopefully they'll all turn out next week and bring the mates.
Evans seems determined to get his name on the score sheet in the closing minutes here. Salford in possession. They've been in possession of this game since virtually the word go. And nothing has been able to disturb them. Not even somebody straying onto the pitch, quickly dealt with by the DW stewards and shown the door. The rest of the Salford fans staying in their places, waiting to greet their heroes who have dominated this game virtually from the word go. But Ian Watson knows that this, while it is a fantastic achievement, is just the opportunity now.
You think he could crack a smile, knowing that he's going to Old Trafford. Come on,
Lussick! He's never got 2 in a game this season. Oh, just for a moment, I thought he was going to.
It's a drop goal.
Drop the habit of a lifetime.
A drop goal.
Hastings is standing back. They won't need it. There are smiles on the sidelines now because Salford can celebrate. They are going to the grand final. They will face St Helens at Old Trafford. The rise of the Red Devils continues.